Y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for stopping by. Y'all, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I told y'all that the intern is obsessed with decorating the house for Christmas, right? Well, it has begun. I believe this weekend it is going to begin in earnest, so I will keep you sort of abreast of the developments as he decorates the house. But in the meantime, y'all, we need to talk about how we're going to make it through this holiday season with our sort of diets or our healthy eating plans intact. So I'll tell you what, y'all go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I'm going to get settled down here. I have a list that I put together, so I'm gonna get that ready, and we'll talk about plans to make it through the holidays without abandoning our goals. All right, y'all, as you can see, I got some furry felons here. There's the little girl felon, and the little boy felon is laying here. Hopefully you cannot hear him snoring too loudly, but I have a list. Like I said, I made a list of things to talk about, so like I always say, I'm gonna try to stay on track, but I want to talk about so I feel like, of course, the holidays are super stressful, but I think one of the things that makes it especially stressful when you're trying to stick to like a diet or some kind of eating plan is all of the functions that you have to go to, right? All the parties, all of the like snacks at work, just all of the temptation that's out there during the holidays. And every year I say I'm going to put this thing out before Thanksgiving. Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, y'all. Do you see? Here comes a furry felon. Look. She is rerouting herself. Yesterday was Thanksgiving, and y'all know that Friday morning is my weigh-in day. It wasn't pretty. So we had the peanut butter last week. Today we had Thanksgiving. Well, like yesterday was Thanksgiving, but today we had to deal with Thanksgiving. So, like I said, I always want to do this video before Thanksgiving to kind of give us ideas of how to deal with things going into the holidays, but it's all right. I feel like the sort of, I don't want to say the worst of it is ahead of us, but I think most of our holiday parties and things are ahead of us because the holiday season like really starts now. So let's talk about things that we can do to sort of manage our stress, our eating, all of those things. Okay, I'm not going to talk about managing stress because y'all, that's just not my thing. But manage our eating as we go to these functions going into the holidays. And y'all, y'all know I'm Gen X. So my very first recommendation, I think this is my top 10 list. I maybe have 10 things. We ain't going to count them. But my first recommendation, good Lord, this dog. Like I said, I'm Gen X. So my first recommendation is pregame. Y'all remember back in the day when you would go to a party and you would pregame, or like you'd go out drinking at the bars. And of course, back in the day, you couldn't actually afford to drink at the bars. So you would pregame and you would drink before you went to the bars so that when you went to the bar, you were like good and tuned up. Why did I just tell that story? Anyway, think about preparing yourself to deal with the party before you go to a party. First, number one, do your workout. Get whatever movement you're doing, do your workout, do your movement, get your movement in that day. Because of the obvious, right? You're prepping yourself for those calories that you're going to eat later. But also, y'all, I feel like I was going to say on days that I work out, which is air day that ends in Y. But if I have a good workout, it just kind of puts me in the mindset of being sort of conscious of my eating and like what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to say the mindset like puts me in the mindset of my body, but it does kind of like gets me like out of my head and into my body and thinking about being fit and those things. So on a day that I have a good workout, like if I work hard at like lifting weights or like riding the bike or whatever, I'm not going to blow the advantage or the gain that I've made by eating like pizza or something. I'm more likely to make good food choices if I've already had an accomplishment. So I always try to have some kind of good workout or good activity before I go into I'm going to just call them eating events because y'all, it might be a party. It might be, going out to dinner. It might be something at work, whatever it is, whatever that eating event is that's going to put you off of your normal eating routine. So we're just going to refer to them as eating events. So when I know that I'm going to go into some kind of eating event, like yesterday, I had a really good ride yesterday morning and I wanted to stop before, like, I've been taking it like slightly easy because, like I think I told y'all, I've hit my annual goal and I'm 200 miles ahead of Longhorn David, who's the next one behind me in my imaginary competition on Peloton for this month. And the month ends, I think, tomorrow. So, I mean, unless he rides 200 miles today, I'm probably okay. So I haven't really, I mean, I've been like slightly killing it, but not really, really killing it on the bike. Y'all, I killed it yesterday because I knew that I was going to go to the intern's mom and stepdad's house and just punish some turkey, which I did. But doing that, like the workout ahead of time, made me back off of some things that I might otherwise have eaten. So get your movement in. Do not skip meals. Y'all, do not skip meals. Don't think, oh, I'm going to have a big meal in a little minute, so I'm going to skip a meal to, no, don't do that. Because here's what's going to happen is you're going to skip a meal. You're going to be famished when you get there and you're going to eat everything in sight. So eat, even if you just eat your normal meal, just eat normally before you go to whatever your eating event is so that you're not like 7 kinds of famished when you get there. I try to eat a protein snack of some sort before I go. I mean, I didn't for Thanksgiving because, well, we'll get to this later, but I mean, some events you just go and eat. But like if we go to like a work event or some kind of like social eating event that's not like a family event, I try to eat a protein snack before I go because it's going to fill me up a bit, level out my blood sugar, and keep me from like over snacking. So definitely don't skip a meal the day of whatever the event is and try to eat, if nothing else, try to eat like a protein snack before you get there to kind of level you off before the thing starts. So that's our pregame. Now let's get into the thing. And y'all, I have this kind of organized. I'm going to try to go through it in like the order of events of the eating event. So you show up and there are drinks. Choose your drinks wisely, my friends. Obviously, depending on the event, you might or might not be drinking alcohol. And I'm not going to say don't drink no alcohol, but think about what you're drinking. Like it's Christmas time, right? Eggnog, hot chocolate, those like thick, creamy, sort of signature Christmassy drinks, they will tend to pack a lot of calories for not a whole lot of. I'm not saying like go to these parties and like get hammered, but if you're going to drink an alcoholic beverage, I think you want like a little bit of payoff for drinking the alcohol, right? And typically, like an eggnog or a hot chocolate at a party isn't going to have much of an alcohol payoff, if you will. So instead of drinking that very heavy, very calorie laden drink, maybe get like a vodka soda or a whiskey soda or something, an alcohol mixed with a lower calorie mixer. So you kind of get more bang for your buck calorie wise. And then obviously mind yourself. Don't be, getting all liquored up. But I mean, unless you're going to get all liquored up, y'all, you do you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just saying be mindful of those delicious, thick and creamy drinks. All right. So we have our beverage. Now, appetizers. Appetizers are the food of the devil, y'all, because they're so little and cute, and folks walk around with them on a plate, and it's just, oh, have one of these and have 2 of those. And it's, my mom told me about this, not appetizers, but BLT, a bite, a lick, and a taste. Y'all, a bite, a lick, and a taste will kill your diet. Like on Weight Watchers, it will kill your points because you don't count the points when you just take a little bite of something or just have a little lick. I mean, you don't go around licking things at a party, I don't think. But like a little bite here, a little lick here, a little taste there, and you're not counting the points, and those points add up. So to me, that's what appetizers are. Appetizers are like the BLT of the party. So here's what we're going to do. First of all, if you can, get you a little appetizer plate and fill it up with as healthy a choices as you can first. So if there's like a crudité tray with like vegetables, get you some vegetables, get you some fruits, get you some nuts. There's always cocktail shrimp, right? Get you some cocktail shrimp, olives, pickles. There's always like at least around here, like in the Midwest, wherever I am, there's always like a pickled things tray. Get you some pickled things, some olives, some pickles. Y'all, I love pickles. But get you some of those. But remember, and I'm not trying to take all the joy out of your holiday, but just be aware, be careful with your cocktail shrimp. Remember that cocktail sauce is ketchup. So if you're going to dip your cocktail shrimp, but just remember that you're dipping it in ketchup, which is probably like normal ketchup, not sugar-free ketchup. That's all I'm going to say about that. So make you a plate of that. Y'all, I have my TENS device on my knee, so if you see my eyebrow twitching every once in a while, it's because I might have it set a little bit too high. But anyway, so make you a plate of healthy appetizers first, like the healthiest appetizers that you can find first. And then if you want to go for like the, little greasier, little more rich ones, you can have a couple little bites of the other ones. But make the bulk of your appetizers those healthier options. And the plate. Use the plate. Don't just be walking around picking up stuff, y'all. A buffet, oh my goodness, buffets kill me. So make you a plate and then walk away from whatever the source of the food is. So even if it's not a buffet, regardless of what your eating setup is, have a plan. Like we said with your appetizers, focus on eating lean proteins, fruits and veggies without a whole bunch of like dips and heavy sauces and creams and stuff. And then if there's a dish that's important to you, like something that you really want to eat or try or taste or whatever, and it's heavier in calories, just think about how it works into that plan that you've made. So make a plan ahead of time, focus on the leaner stuff, and then with that plan in mind, figure out how those other things sort of work into that. And y'all, let's talk about that. Let's talk about some specifics about making that plan, planning out what you're going to eat. Let's talk about building a better plate. And of course, depending on where you are and what your sort of food setup is or what your eating event is, this is going to be easier or more difficult, just like depending on your circumstances. Let's talk about a plan for how to set up your plate, like how we can go into this whole thing. Let's focus on carbs, fats, lean proteins, and non-starchy vegetables. So let's start with carbs. Let's try to make 1/4 of what you eat and it doesn't have to be 1/4 of every plate, but if you try to focus on doing this with every plate, to me, it kind of makes it easier because if you're in a situation where you have multiple plates and you're trying to keep up with how much of what you ate, just break all of your plates down this way. So 1/4-ish or less carbs. And y'all, I'm not talking about sunbeam bread and white pasta. Try to find complex carb options. Now, those are going to be, we've talked about these till we're blue in the face. Those are going to be like your whole wheat pasta options, your whole grain bread options, starchy vegetables, beans, brown rice, those kind of things. Now, it might not be easy to find these things at a party, but just see what you can do. Maybe, if there's a bread basket, see if you can find some of the whole grain bread in there. Opt for those things. Opt for starchy vegetables, those kind of things. So 1/4-ish of your plate should be that. Fats. Look for, obviously, unsaturated fats like nuts, fish, avocado, seeds, those kind of things. Try to stay away from the butters, like we said, the creams, the beef. A lot of beef is going to be saturated fat, so try to stay away from those. I'm going to give you a percentage of your plate or a fraction of your plate to be this. You can have some, just try not to have a lot of it. So we've got 1/4 carbs, some fat. We're going to do 1/4 lean protein, and we know what lean protein looks like, right? It's your fish, it's skinless poultry, those kind of things. So try to find lean protein. Shrimp, all of that stuff is lean protein. So you're going to do 1/4 carbs, 1/4 lean protein, a little bit of unsaturated fat, and y'all, all the rest, you're going to do non-starchy vegetables. And those are pretty much any vegetables other than potatoes, corn, and I'm forgetting one. Potatoes, corn, and peas. Those go up top in your carbs. So those are like your carb quarter. But so you can have those, they just got to go in your carb quarter. But so any vegetables other than those are going to be low cal, high fiber, low carb, and they're going to fill you up. So try to have at least 50% of your plate be those. And y'all, of course, these are rough numbers, and it's just kind of a guideline, just to help you sort of go into these events with a plan in mind. So we're going to build a better plate. Okay, so now we've built our better plate, right? We're going to move away from recreational eating. So you've built your plate, and even if, we talked about if there are some things that you want to eat, some dishes that are important to you that you want to try, maybe, I don't know, Aunt Gracie's macaroni and cheese is there, and you're going to have some Aunt Gracie's macaroni and cheese. So you're going to count that as part of your fats, right? You're just going to have it. Y'all just have the macaroni and cheese, but put it on your plate, eat that plate of food, and then you're done eating. So depending on what the eating event is, maybe you're at a table, right? You eat your plate of food, you put your fork and knife down, you push your plate away, and then if you can, again, depending on the social event, eat a mint, chew some gum, do something to signal to yourself that you are done eating and do not eat anymore. And then sip on some ice water, maybe sip on some soda water or something for the rest of the event, so that, again, to signal to yourself that you are not eating anymore. And it's not, I feel like, in an event where, everybody's walking around snacking and eating and stuff, if you have that drink and you're steady sipping on your drink, it's not awkward that you're not eating. So it doesn't put you in a position where you feel like you have to keep eating because everybody else is eating. So build your better plate, even if it's a couple little bites of some other stuff, eat your plate, be done with it. If the event is some kind of buffet where you get up and build your plate, take your plate and be done with it. If it's a disposable plate, throw it away, go put it with the caterers, whatever it is, get it away from you to signal to yourself that the eating portion of the event is over. And I should have said this before we ate our plate. Eat slowly, y'all. We've talked about this. Last week, we talked about eating mindfully. Eat slowly. Take your time, because once you finish that plate of food, you're done eating. So take your time, enjoy the food, and allow your body to signal to your brain that you're getting full, that you're getting satiated. So as always, we know this. Eat to satiation, not stuffedness. I know that's not a word, but I don't know the actual grown-up word for stuffedness. So eat until you're full but not stuffed. Or eat till you're full. Eat till you're full but not stuffed. And give your body time to tell your brain that you're full. And y'all, that's 15 or 20 minutes. It takes 15 or 20 minutes for your body to signal to your brain what you've done to it. So take your time when you're eating so that your brain slowly realizes that you're getting full. All right. So that's what we got for events that you go to. Let's talk about maybe some other options. So if you can host an event, because y'all, then you have control over what you serve. Now, you might still need to serve Aunt Gracie's macaroni and cheese and maybe some honey baked ham or something, but you can also serve tasty, healthy options, which will be good for you. And, some of your other guests might also appreciate and or need some healthy options. So if you can, host an event so that you can introduce those healthy options. Also, while we're chatting about that, think about reducing the fat and calories in some of these holiday dishes that you're making. Y'all, nowadays there are so many good substitutes for the fat that we use, especially for the sweeteners. You can sub out all kinds of stuff. And you can either tell folks, or I guess you probably should tell folks, because you don't want somebody falling out from an allergy to something that they don't know you're putting in their food. But there are lots of low-cal, low-fat substituting options that you can do into these rich holiday recipes that'll make them, more healthy might be a stretch, but less unhealthy. And while we're talking about these unhealthy holiday recipes, y'all, choose your splurges wisely. If you're going to eat Aunt Gracie's macaroni and cheese, eat the macaroni and cheese, but just be aware of, the calories that are in that, and don't eat that and the pecan pie and the chocolate. Like, choose what you're going to spend your calories on wisely. Do like we said, go ahead and build your better plate. Pick what's going to go in that fat category. Then eat your well-planned plate before you eat whatever that little treat is. And finally, y'all, I rarely remember to say this, give yourself some grace. If you make a bad choice, or if you make a good choice and you eat an unhealthy meal or an unhealthy snack, or you even just have a day of eating unhealthy stuff, unless, and this is the big caveat, unless, and we all have our own journeys that we're on. If your issue is like a health issue, disregard everything I'm saying right now. But if it's just that you're trying to be healthier and you're trying to lose weight and you have a bad day, just check it off and move on. Just dust yourself off. Everybody has those days. Don't let it ruin the rest of your week or the rest of your whatever. And do not beat yourself up over it. Y'all, we are on that's why we call this a journey, right? We're working towards progress, not perfection. So, if you go to a Thanksgiving dinner and you eat a whole lot of food and you come home stuffed and you get on the scale the next day and you see a number that you ain't seen in years, it's okay. Just make a plan and do better. And y'all, this is so, so huge. And I don't think that I'm the one that needs to give y'all permission for this, but give yourself permission to say no. If there's an event that you feel now, going to a dinner party and eating more calories than you should, that's one thing. That's whatever. But if there's an event that you feel like if you go to it, it's truly going to jeopardize the progress that you've made on your fitness, really jeopardize the progress that you've made, or if there's a reason that you feel like you should not put yourself in whatever tempting situation, give yourself permission to say no. It's okay to say no. And you don't have to feel guilty. You don't have to feel guilty about saying no. And you don't have to feel guilty about taking pleasure in the food that you eat. So if eating a piece of chocolate cake is going to give you pleasure and it's truly not detrimental to your health, eat you some chocolate cake. But again, moderation. Just don't do it a whole lot and don't make it detrimental to your health. All right, y'all, that's it. That's my whole list. I think that was actually 10. If you count that whole Build a Better Plate as one item. That's why I don't try to number my things, because then I'm like, oh, if I do a Weight Watchers, my 15 favorite Weight Watchers 0-point foods or whatever, I'll do and fruit is one of my 15, and then I'll list 10 different fruits. So I figure instead of doing that, I just won't put a number on things. I know, y'all, I'm incorrigible, but I tell y'all what, I'm going to enjoy some more. I'm drinking my tasty spearmint green tea from the Tea Spot again, because y'all know I cannot drink. The intern calls it leaded tea. I cannot drink caffeinated tea when I'm talking to y'all, because then I talk too fast. And then editing Danielle in the morning has to try to clean it up, and it is a hot mess. So I can't have the only pumpkin spice thing that I like, I think, pretty much, the only pumpkin spice thing that I consume on the reg is the Tea Spot's pumpkin spice chai, which is divine. But it's black tea, so it's caffeine. But anyway, so I'm going to sip some more tea. I'm going to move around. I'm probably going to stretch some. I might lift some weights. I don't know. I'm going to do something. And then, y'all, I have a Walmart coming, and there's something that I want to make. And remember we talked about tofu? It might have something to do with tofu. So let me get up off this. Can you hear this felon snoring? I think if I move, he's going to stop snoring. Can y'all hear that? Hang on. Oh, I don't think you're hearing. I don't think the mic's picking it up. Anyway, there's a felon laying here snoring, and I do not want to move, but I have to. So I'm going to get up. I'm going to do something, and then I'll meet y'all in the kitchen, and we'll make something. All right, so I will see y'all over there.
Charlotte, you're getting the hang of it. Look at you now, you're doing it. Charlotte, brave enough to admit what you want from the moment. So keep going, kid. The world may not have noticed yet, but I did. Charlotte, it's been a hard month. Noises in the night, we all slept rough. Charlotte, it's beautiful, isn't it? The moon on the rooftops, the silver light drips. Sweet dreams, kid. I hope you find some peace while you're sleeping. Charlotte, you're busy growing quick flowers in the garden. The summer air sticks. Charlotte, you're bleeding at the knees, climbing up the windshield, trying to reach the storm front coming this way. Don't worry about the thunder, it's how the heat breaks.
Y'all, hang on, look out this window. Look how dark it is. You know how it was all like nice and afternoony and chill earlier when we were talking? Let me tell you what happened. So I told you I was going to do my workout and then we would meet in the kitchen and make some stuff. So that was the plan. I went to do my workout and I'm working out, and I told you it's Friday, right? I almost said Good Friday. It's not Good Friday, it's Black Friday. And there's college football today. So I'm checking scores, just seeing what's going on, thinking that I was going to finish shooting my videos today, get up early in the morning, work, and then edit my video, and then watch the Georgia game tomorrow evening. I know, Georgia fans are yelling, no, that's not right, because Georgia's playing tonight, y'all. Yeah, we play in like an hour. So I had to quickly reroute my plan, shoot my game day workout video, because y'all, that's a luck thing. And I don't know what would happen if I didn't do it, because I'm not gonna didn't do it. So I had to go and do my game day video, edit that, get that all done, get that all uploaded, so that's all good to go, so the game is safe. Then I had to come and, not had to, but then I had the time, I was able to come and do my cooking. But it's late, y'all, so I couldn't bring y'all cooking with me, but let me tell you what I did. So did I tell you we were going to do some tofu? We doing tofu. So here's what I did. I took that block of tofu, and I had read that if you wrap it up and like mash it between some plates or something, that all the water in the tofu comes out so it's not mushy when you cook it, and that it makes for a better consistency when you cook it. So I did that, and apparently I mushed it a little hard because it got a little crushed. Well, then I diced it, and I sauteed that in a pan. And I was like, well, that's going to be a little bland. So I threw in some salt and pepper. I don't know if I should have. But so I sauteed tofu cubes. Well, then I took some frozen vegetables out of the freezer, and I sauteed those. And y'all, I've been using just the Walmart stir-fry frozen vegetables, but they don't have a whole lot of broccoli in them. So what I've been doing is taking a bag of the Walmart frozen vegetables, like frozen stir-fry vegetables, and a bag of the broccoli and putting them together. So that's what I did. So I kind of stir-fried those up, let them melt down and get all nice together. Threw in some garlic. So now I have tofu and I have vegetables, and I made up a little sauce. And it's supposed to be sweet chili sauce, like 3 tablespoons sweet chili sauce, I think 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon or maybe 2 tablespoons of sriracha. Are you kidding? No, we ain't doing all that. And then a little bit of fish oil. Well, I ain't got no fish oil. So I did 3 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then like a tiny bit of sriracha. Because y'all remember last week when I lit my face on fire with those, what was it, eggs in Hades, eggs in purgatory. That eggs in purgatory made my whole face leak. We ain't doing that this week. So I made the veggies, I made the tofu, I made the sauce. So let me get those over here. Oh, and it's supposed to be brown rice, but y'all, I really want to like this, so I made white rice. So let me get all that together. I'll bring it over here and I will show y'all what we made and then we'll taste it. All right, so y'all sit tight. All right, y'all. So we got sauteed vegetables and tofu. And I just went ahead and scooped myself out half a cup of white rice because that's not interesting. So y'all didn't need to see that. Oh, and here's my sauce. I'm a little afraid of how peppery that looks, but we'll see. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scoop out some veg. And I didn't mix it all together because I think the intern might eat some of these veg, but he ain't going to eat this tofu. Well, I don't think he'll eat the tofu. So I figured I just wouldn't mix it all together. And maybe he'll eat some of it. So there's the tofu. Whoa. Dog's about to have some tofu. And let me put some sauce. I'm a little worried about this sauce, y'all. Let me drape some sauce over it and let's see what we got. I don't know. I didn't do the points for the sauce. I'll do it and I'll throw it here somewhere. But of course it's 3 points for half a cup of rice. No points for the vegetables and no points for the tofu. So let's see what we got. Oh, I'm nervous. Have I said that 5 times? And it's hot. That rice is so hot because it just came out. Let's start with just a little bite of tofu and rice. I don't need to hold the whole plate. The sauce is tasty and it's exceptionally hot. It's really hot, y'all. My face is going to leak. Just be prepared. All right. So that was tofu and rice and apparently a lot of sauce. It was very tasty. I'm going to try rice and veg and tofu. Yo, this was so easy. It seriously took me like 8 minutes to make this. I mean, other than making the rice, which is obviously 30 minutes. That's really good. I don't mind the tofu at all. I mean, I actually kind of like it. I don't mind it. That's not a nice thing to say about food. So that's good. I'm going to eat this and get ready for my football game. So y'all, earlier, before things spun all out of control, we talked about my top 10 list, or like my 10 tips for making it through the holidays with your goals intact. I know y'all have tips of your own. Let us know in the comments. What do you do to keep your goals intact as you work your way through holiday parties? Let us know in the comments. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, we are most definitely friends. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with the shenanigans. I upload food and fitness videos at the beginning of every week with some book videos sprinkled in between. See you on the next one.